Hey there guys, and happy whatever day it is that you're watching this video. So today we've come to the end of the roaster profile on Coffea Circulor, and I think I've done a good job of saving the best coffee until last. It's an Ethiopian, and I think I've badgered on a lot about how I love African coffees, especially Ethiopians and Kenyans. This is going to be a treat, not just for me, but hopefully for you guys as well. So kick back, relax, get yourselves a coffee, and welcome to Today I Brewed. So what makes this coffee a good one? Well, I wondered myself until I tried it, and it's pretty spectacular. So, I love Ethiopian coffees. Probably prefer Kenyans more, I think, but Ethiopians are definitely up there. African coffees are my favourite, and I think this one might have topped the list of my favourite African coffees I have ever had. So let's talk a little bit about it, and you guys can see why I've enjoyed it so much. So, the coffee is Ethiopian, and it's the Ethiopian Halo WX, and it's from the Championship collection. And I think in the past, when I've ordered coffees from this collection, they've always been spectacular. And for anyone or any judges or any competitors who have tasted anything from the Championship collection, I think we can agree that the coffee is just incredible. The farmers are various smallholders, so it's not just one particular farm, it's a group of many who've just kind of put all the coffee together and produce something spectacular. The region is in Yirgachev, in Gadio. Again, butchering the pronunciation on these things. It's a highly grown coffee at 2,000 metres above sea level. The varietal is heirloom, which is quite typical of Ethiopians, and there can be a whole other video on the heirloom name and varietals in Ethiopia further down the line. And it's a washed coffee, so I think I generally prefer naturals, but you can never underestimate the quality of a good washed coffee. Usually very clean, some super bright tasting notes, and a wonderful profile that I really dig. So even though it's not in my preferred process method, it's a spectacular coffee, and I'm super glad I tried it. So the lot size from the farm was 60 kilos, and this one goes for about $14 per kilo, which is pretty dope. It's a nice price for a good Ethiopian coffee, especially one that is coming with a cupping score of 90. And as we've talked about cupping scores previously, 90 and above is spectacular. Sometimes they are ineffably good, and how can you go wrong with a 90? So the notes on this coffee, which have been amazing to be fair, and I would say spot on. The aroma is bergamot, nectarine peel and vanilla. The flavour that is coming through is blueberry, lemon, yellow plum and toffee. Now I think we had purple plum last time, so it'd be nice to kind of taste the difference between the yellow and the purple plums. which I'm, always excited about. So the acidity is coming through with lemon, lime, citric and mint, with the body is juicy and smooth, and the balance synergetic. Now, I think it's fair to say that when I was brewing the coffee and grinding it, there was a whole kind of cascade of aromas and stuff coming through. And, well, why don't we talk about it and go through it so that I can share the experience of drinking this coffee with you. So when it came to the grind, and it was a beautifully ground coffee, the aromas were magnificent, like truly unbelievable in terms of their clarity, like, and the absolute vibrancy of the aromas in the cup. If we go back to the aromas on the bag, I think the one I got most of was the bergamot. I didn't get as much of the vanilla, but the nectarine peel was definitely there as well. Like, just reminded me of a wonderful cup of Earl Grey, with a little bit extra, like, orangey in there. I think the vanilla was very subtle, but it was enough to balance out the joy of the other two aromas. And love nectarines, never going to turn one down. But wow, lost for words on how good it was. But you can see how well it's ground, and as the coffee's sat here now, I can just get that bergamot coming through, and it's fantastic. It's such a joy. And as you can see, when it came to brew, it had a super silky bloom, and the aromas released from that were bang on. Again, there was so much bergamot there. Perhaps again, the most prominent flavour. But what an exciting thing to get when you're brewing a coffee. Like, if that's not kind of pressuring excitement, I don't quite know what is. Like, this is one of the most excited I've been while brewing a coffee, for it to finish brewing so I can drink it. The aromas were just that good. And wow. The 4.5 minutes or so that it took to brew felt like an eternal 4.5 minutes while waiting for this coffee to finish. But in a good way. As you can see, it bloomed super well. Really even. And the brew was super nice, like, as it was dripping through. And it just looked good. And just can't say enough good things about it. And I wish I had a better vocabulary so I could bring in every positive word I've ever learned in my life to describe this coffee. Now, you might think I'm just exaggerating. Surely no coffee can be this good. Well, exaggerating, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just like an excitable puppy. I'm trying to convey the absolute pleasure of drinking this coffee to you. So let's get to the aromas. Let's get to tasting, and let's talk about it. So if we get a nice little swirl. And there again, wow. That bergamot is just front and center. And I feel like this is like a Mr. Mime pretending to be a cup of coffee, but it's actually an Earl Grey. It is that. So similar. Definitely some of the nectarine peel as well, which is coming through super nice underneath that. And then we've also got the vanilla coming through just subtly underneath. It's balancing it all out, which is fantastic. An absolute joy. So let's see how it tastes. Let's get to the drink. So as you can see, it looks spectacular. Cup's a little bit dirty, but who cares, right? So again, lovely aroma in the cup. super smooth on the mouth. That is like melted butter, like so smooth, like perfectly described on the bag, with a super amount of juice as well. Blueberries definitely coming through quite nice there. Good hint of the lemon underneath that to really brighten it up. I feel like I'm getting the yellow plum. Like, wow. And the toffee is there. Like, if that was an actual toffee, that would be the best toffee I think I've ever eaten. And it's so clean. So clean. Like, to drink, it's just wonderful. Like, truly incredible in terms of a coffee. Like, the bag I think has like 10 grams in it, so I'm sad that it's over. And although it's been a few weeks since the roast date, I think the extended rest has really brought those flavours out. And that is just a wonderful cup. Definitely deserving of the 90 cup score. Beautiful. And the acidity is just so there. Definitely a lovely mix of lime and lemon. And a wonderful balance. Joyful. Absolutely joyful. And I'm so glad that this was the last one that I drank. I did put them in order of cup score, so naturally this one was going to be the last one. But what a treat to drink at the end. Like, what an absolute joy. Kind of sad that my roaster profile of these guys is over, but it's a wonderful bonus. They did send me 4 free samples of 4 different coffees, which I'll put in a short little picture somewhere around this point. And I've yet to try them. You know, I didn't want to rush into it out of excitement, so in a peaceful and patient way, I will make my way through the 4 bags, but genuinely grateful for the coffees that they sent. It was such a lovely surprise. So fundamentally, my deepest gratitude for the free coffee. Thanks for sending it, for me just enjoying your coffee. So, as we kind of come to the end, I think I would definitely say that in terms of, I don't really want to force my opinion out there, but I think everybody should try the roaster. To appreciate their vast collection of coffees that they have on the website and the ethos behind the roastery. I think from what I've learned from reading the back of the bags and kind of perusing the website is they are focused on like quality above all in the fairest possible way, so that everywhere they get their coffees from, everyone is paid fairly, and that the process is smooth. And if you go on their website, they are completely transparent about the journey they took from how they started to where they are now, and the fundamentals that they had at the beginning are still there. They're trying their best to ensure consistent and superior quality in terms of coffee. If you look on their website and kind of go through all the different sections, you can see the care that goes into every coffee that they roast. From the kind of brew profiles that they have, which I believe are kind of incremental, so you can brew the same thing in different levels of different amounts of coffee and water, and the kind of fundamental basics stay the same. But when you read about them, it's wonderful to see such passion consistently going into the coffee. I think, if I remember correctly, they started in 2008, like working in farms in Kenya and trying to help farmers develop the passion for growing so that they can realize the price their coffees can be sold for. And then kind of acquiring their first roaster in the early 2010s to, you know, roasting coffee ever since, and roasting better coffee ever since. On the back of the bags they have a brew recipe, which I'll show so you can see, which will also have some of their ethos on the bag and their focus on sustainability, transparency and care and relationships for everyone that they're involved with. Because it's weird to see, I know transparency is important in coffee, but it's weird to see such transparency, you know, like the story, their constant passion and pursuit of perfection. And it feels like everybody in the roastery shares that same passion, just to deliver the best. And I think on their website it says there's a focus on brewing, providing excellent coffee so they taste good no matter how you brew them. And I have tried one of these as an espresso and it was fantastic. Like a truly quality espresso as well as a filter. Brewing it on either the Chemex or V60 was a just equally pleasurable experience for different reasons due to the nature of the qualities each of those brew methods brings out. But I honestly recommend just taking a look at their site and seeing what they do, because I think it's, dare I say, it's an inspiration for roasters all over the world to kind of follow that path and just keep doing the best possible, which I know people do, but you know, what can I say? I am a fanboy of the roastery, so never can run out of good words to say about it. But yeah, I think that is it. But the other cool thing was they watched the videos, which I'm super taken aback by and just eternally grateful for. But I think this Ethiopian, out of the 4 that I've tried, is the best one. And I think I've said that about all the coffees, but this one is points above the rest. It's just an incredible cup of coffee, and I am so thankful that I got to drink it, and drink it well. Coffee's roasted so good that I could have brewed this awfully, and it tastes fantastic. But yeah, check them out, see what you guys think. Check out the vast collection and just pick coffee from there, because you will not be disappointed. So I'm going to enjoy this, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I hope you've enjoyed the roaster profile on these guys, and buy coffee from them and just enjoy it. So if you've not got yourselves a coffee yet, go get yourselves one, go brew up. Take it easy, enjoy the day, and thank you for tuning in to Today I Brewed.